Hello. Yeah, I didn't want to speak this year, but there's still place, so they took me on board. So, and then I came up with a topic. Actually, topic came to me, and then I kind of said to Ilse, read my thoughts on that. You should speak. So the idea is behind this is that we live in very dynamic world. It's fast changing. I know other people had said the same thing centuries ago, and that was true at the time, and it's true again. In my mind, in my opinion, we live in a world where there's abundance of things, ideas, information. There's too much of new and old, weird, useful, broken, real ones, and also butterflies. So I see it as a chaotic world because it's hard to see the patterns. It's hard to find things or understand where it's something going. And it gives a lot of emotions. So therefore, chaos. The Prince of Chaos, because Prince of Chaos is a very cool guy, and he is very contemporary. I have borrowed him from one of my favorite books. This doesn't work. Okay. One of my favorite books by Roger Zelazny. He is the author from past century, so he's classics already. But even though he wrote his Chronicles of Amber during the 70s and 80s, there's very contemporary ideas. In this world, there is a lot of chaos and order that are in dynamic relationship. And in this world lives Merlin, the Prince of Chaos. And what's interesting is that this Prince of Chaos builds a machine that becomes self-aware and sentient. And this is not human, not wizard, not God, and he tries to understand the answer on what it is. So I want to use this world as and Prince of Chaos and also his machine, which name is Ghost, if someone is interested in, as a guidance for my travel through our chaotic world. So there won't be you should learn or no. We will just take a walk. And I will show you things what I see. Maybe you see the same. Okay, the first stop is very overwhelming. This is a place and topic I wanted to talk forever, and I believe everybody of you already have met some results of those processes. That main idea, if you put garbage in, nothing good comes out. If you make a salad from rotten or old ingredients, in best case, it will taste good and there's no nutrition. In worst case, you can get poisoned. So this is what I can see in many aspects of daily life and also in the work life. But garbage is not bad. It's a natural byproduct of our people, of our creativity. So people are super creative. And that's how we roll all the time. We are creative to make things. And we are even more creative to make workarounds and exceptions because you need to get somewhere and get results. If we have created something that works, and we are good at it, we can do it again and again on demand. But then the question, is it scales? Can the city function with the small streets when it grows to 10 million people? And sometimes we have found very good tool to work. And it's the tool the best at the time. And we create something. It works. If it works, we forget about it. We take it as granted. And so sometimes there are still some modules in systems that are created 20, 30 years ago, and nobody knows how it works. And maybe they need some refinement. So garbage is natural outcome of our creativity. In software industry, there is a concept of technical debt. It's an old one, I think from 70s, and in 90s it became more popular. In a nutshell, if we take some shortcuts or workarounds today, we will pay a little bit more tomorrow about that. But I won't go in details. So explaining theory. I just want to show you example from my work, from my perspective. I'm working with reporting and analytics, but it usually starts with some business process for a customer or business company, or business process is the main thing that starts that. Then there are tools and workflow practices to set up this process and get it moving and working. At some point, it's usually people want to get the data and build some reporting to understand how the process is going, what we should improve, what we should change. And based on those reports, also the process is changed. But sadly, there are, in many cases, flaws in processes. We don't like to do everything very streamlined. And when there are some flaws in the process, it goes downstream to the workflow as well. We have to pay attention to this exception or workaround. Then it goes also to the gathering data and reports. It doesn't disappear anywhere. Something out of the standard normal way requires our attention at every step. And what else? If we have processes, exception or workaround at operational system and also in gathering data or in report, is this report accurate to improve your business process? I don't think so, in some cases at least. But don't take my word for that. I want to reference to two of our speaks from last year and before from community days. Last year there was Julian from Mercedes, and he was sharing how they improved their feature rollout planning in their company, in Mercedes, which is a big one. There's 55,000 employees, so something to be streamlined is very important for them. And his story was full of words: align, standardize, unify, common, unified data and reporting strategy to make their feature planning much faster and transparent. Another story was from Joachim from Idalco, or partners Idalco. He was giving an example about non-software industry. Their customers were supporting and maintaining the ship locks, windmill parks, and hydro power plants. And they were supporting them, and they have SLAs. What their take was, they approach the business requirements already in a very intelligent way. They was reading all the contracts the customer had, analyzing them at that level before even starting to providing the support and processes and setting up the processes, and understood that usually there are 3 common service level agreement requirements, but they are called by different names. What they did, they combined them, reduced to the standardized SLAs, but with flexible goals. Now, with such setup, they could find the appropriate system to support that, and afterwards, smooth sailing to gather data, make reports, and improve the basic process. You can find both of those presentations in YouTube, so if you want to watch them later. So, what I want to tell with this one about the garbage in and garbage out is it's very tempting to create some workaround, some shortcut today because our tools allow that. We can configure them whatever we want. And I'm very grateful to anyone who puts some thought, in the process itself before saying, yes, let's do it as you ask it. And if the people don't have such ability to do it themselves, there's always consultants who can help. They are not attached to the process or some some tools there's created. Okay, this was tough place. We will go to some another one. A good enough, place of good enough. It has been always there, but I noticed it as a different place today. When science fiction portrays the future, it's with AI. AI usually is something stronger, something smarter and superior to humans. Maybe it's true, but I think there emerges a bit different pattern. The pattern that I have observed in work and daily life. If we have a question or task, we take any AI tool that's in our reach, or we usually use, for example, Siri or ChatGPT or Gemini, and then we ask the question. Tool is smart, it has brain of all internet, and gives some answer. We can read it and say, oh, sounds legit. It will do, good enough. And we roll with that. So, good enough is really cool concept. I love it. If I need to start doing something I haven't done before, for example, set up garden for chili peppers, I will go with anything the AI tool suggests me. And also this is important if we don't know what will be the outcome, what is the field, or for products, minimal viable product to test out the world. It's a really cool tool, and it's a concept. And only thing that it requires is some refinement later. Don't stick to it. Usually it is, you get the first answers to start moving, just do something, and if it works, probably we should refine it and then go further. But if we do not refine it and stick as default, then I think the result is quite upsetting in the long term. There are statues from Beijing, Forbidden City. In the Forbidden City is a bridge with statues. Of course, over the centuries, some of the statues have fallen off. And the masters at that time tried to make replica based on the previous ones. The first ones, masters were really worked for emperor, and they made very detailed and high-quality work. Later, the quality standards declined based on previous, and nowadays they're just make some shape resembling it. So that is my concern, that if good enough becomes outcome and it's documented and cemented and stored, and this becomes as a high level for the next iteration, then it might lead to some decline. So, but I would like to talk about also some nice things I have seen in this last couple of years. I encountered a tribe of very diverse and interesting people. They call themselves documentarians. I didn't know that they existed because none of them has this job title documentarian. They usually have different names. They have, for example, tester, analyst, software engineer, project manager, teacher, student, scientist, laborant. They are all across all the industries. What is common for them? That they are smart, they are resilient, they do research, analyze, and write, organize, and continuously improve information before storing it. And their aim is to provide for others high-quality information. So when you or I or someone else has a question, they can find it, trust it, and it could be useful. I must say that the same tribe, the same people, the documentarians they were quite scared a couple of years ago because of LLM tools were getting attraction more and more. And some of them were replaced with LLM tools and AI, but in the last year, when I spoke with many of them, it felt that they have found their ground and understood their role in today. They are needed for LLM tools, and they need LLM tools. They need LLM tools themselves because those LLM tools can do the heavy lifting, researching and generating and finding, summarizing, but the documentarians can do the proofreading, editing, adjusting, and putting the right emphasis. On the other hand, they are also needed for LLM tools because the information they produced are the stepping stone for the next one that is generated. And nowadays, it's even more interesting for writing something, to sharing knowledge, because the same source is used by two different readers. Well, one is human. We love stories. We love pictures. We love sometimes to scan text and sometimes to get in some details. On the other hand, there is a LLM tool who wants structured text, so they can build something from this. And yeah, so both are using the source generated by a documentarian as a stepping stone. If the source has a good quality of the information, it's a good chance to get better outcome that we can trust. I want to share one example from eazyBI, because I'm documentarian in eazyBI, one of the documentarians, and we have of course, report to follow the quality of our documentation. We had such KPI in the past that we were looking on the search queries in the last 30 days and see the results. If there are no results, we will try to create content. If there's too many results on the keyword, we will try to polish it, narrow down, and give more focused way to the right answer. But this is past, because this is a report I created this week. The top search query is, can I ask you a question, please? And that's not a query, that's not a search query, it's a prompt. So all of our search queries looks like semi-prompt or hacker attacks. So that doesn't make any sense to improve documentation, and numbers are ridiculously high. So we ditch that report, and now we look on something else. People perceive our documentation through AI assistants, so we look on feedback on AI assistants. I know people are a bit lazy, putting thumbs up and thumbs down. Yeah, but it's qualitative work, not quantitative work. So please, if you sometime do want to give feedback, a negative one, please do that and write a comment. That ensures that we will improve and you will get better answer next time. Okay, 3 places is enough. I think documentarians are a good place to end. So this journey for now, let's go back to the Железный Prince of Chaos and that world. The Prince of Chaos, the Merlin, can extend his hands across the chaotic world and in a minute or so reach and grab out something he desires. It's his power, his gift. He can reach out and get the cold beer or a new pair of clothes or get somewhere he wants to. But he can do it for a reason. He knows his kingdom. He knows his subjects, the rules, the patterns of the kingdom, and also he has been training for this since childhood. It's part of his royalty, let's say. But for rest of us, ladies and gentlemen, we are not princes and princesses in that sense. We still need to do some kind of searching, proofing, going back to source, adjusting. Good thing that we have different tools. all the time. We have find some tools, improve them, then we adjust them to work for us. Yes, of course, it takes sometimes time, and we sometimes grumpy or sometimes excited about something new. And it might feel like we are going in circles. But I would say we are spiraling up because we are becoming better with every iteration we do as humans to adapting to new tools. So every time when someone gives some thought and say, no to bad workaround, we become lighter. We don't drag all this garbage with us. Every time when documentarian writes a clear answer somewhere, then we and LLMs work better and are more knowledgeable, and that allows us to become better people and make new things that we like and want. So, thank you.
So do we have any questions to Zane? Yes, so you will need to touch.
Yes, a question about documentarians.
Yeah.
You said that they are the people who care, and if so, do you think it would be better if everyone was a documentarian, and if so, then why or why not?
I don't think that everyone should be documentarian. Everybody has their own skills and point of interest. So it's better to leave it to the people who are capable. They care, but they are also have enough energy to do and a goal to do the research, to organize and to clear it down till it could be published. So not every one of us has such intention, so better not.
So, like, if you're not really good, then it's better that you don't care.
No, it's you can care, but don't put a rubbish text on internet, please.
Thank you.
That's.
Any more questions? No, then thank you very much, Zane.